2 o'clock, and I'd like to call to order the Tuesday, June 13th meeting of the Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners of Kansas City, Missouri. Would the Secretary please call the roll?
Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Perez-Rico,
Present.
President Holland,
Present.
Director Cotton.
Present.
First order of business is considering board approval of the May 23rd, 2023 board meeting minutes as outlined in Attachment A. Are there any questions or suggested changes to those minutes?
Yes, one amendment. I'd like to have an addition. Thank you first, Secretary Houston, for just the great articulation. Just add to the Resolution 32252 that there was a shared concern or interest in learning more about fund distributions to confirm equitable distributions of funds related to how the money that the Parks and Rec gives or offers to these various cultural institutions, as previously discussed.
Okay.
With that addition, do we have a motion?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of May 23rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion as amended is approved. Next order of business is public testimony regarding the request to rename the Brush Creek Community Center to the Mary Williams Neal Community Center. We have some folks who have asked to address the board. Mr. White, welcome.
Welcome.
Hi.
Mr. President, board members.
Thank you.
Well, look at, came up fast today.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I've been honored to serve as county executive for Jackson County, Missouri since 2016. Before that, I served as first district at large Jackson County legislator from 2014 to 2016. The county encompasses the urban core of Kansas City, Missouri, as well as several surrounding suburbs, which are part of the greater Kansas City metropolitan area. I'm writing to support the renaming of the Brush Creek Community Center to the Mary Williams Neal Community Center. Our early years were similar. You know, we both grew up in Mississippi, both picked cotton in Mississippi, and I was born in Greenville in 1950, and that's just 34 miles from where Miss Neal was born in 1948. So just 2 years apart. I've known Miss Neal for many years, growing up on the east side of Kansas City in the 3rd District. I then became a constituent of Mrs. Neal when she was elected 3rd District Councilwoman in 1995, serving until 2003, during which time she made a great contribution to the city and to the district. She was determined, and she was passionate, and she was a great representative of our community, ensuring people lived safe neighborhoods and quality housing. But more importantly, she educated residents in the neighborhoods on how to create opportunities for everyone by working together with local government. She accomplished much professionally, and as a volunteer, showed tenacity in all her civic efforts. Her civic legacy was extended beyond her time on the City Council, including her appointment to the Parks Board of Commissioners by Mayor Quentin Lucas in 2019. Mrs. Neal was a member of several boards of directors, including the Mid-America Regional Council, the Kansas City and Missouri Metropolitan Culture District Commission, and the 18th Combined Authority. Her commitment to serving the community also extended to her role as founder CEO of the Get Ahead Club in 1998. To honor and recognize what an icon she was, not only in her public life, but in all the lives she has touched, I strongly recommend and support the renaming of the Brush Creek Community Center to the Mary Williams Neal Community Center. While her presence will be missed, her legacy will live on. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. White. Jackie Williams? Welcome, Ms. Williams.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Mary Williams Neal's oldest daughter, and it is my honor to be here to speak for my mom. Mr. White has already said the things that Mrs. Neal has done, my mom has done publicly, but also in her private life she done it. My mom, she didn't do it for the spotlight. Who she was publicly is who she was privately. I'm honored to be her daughter, and I'm sorry. I'm in favor of this, and I've just in a short period of time, I was able to get 337 signatures from residents that are also in favor of this. I did just a little bit of research. The name Brush Creek, it was named Brush Creek because it was a bush dividing line between here and Johnson County because of a war that was going on, so it was dividing. But my mom was always bringing people together, and so I'm thinking in naming this Mary Williams Neal Community Center, because she was able to bring communities together, people together, families together. That will be part of her legacy, to rename this center after her. She was a wonderful woman. And she was kind to whoever she met. And she had an open door policy. And as a community center, it has an open door policy. All is welcome. And so I think that would be in honor of my mom, Mary Williams Neal. Some call her Ma Mary and Mama Neal, as an open door policy to come in, and all is welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Ms. Laura?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am just honored, board members, president, to be able to have this opportunity to share about my friend, the lady from Mississippi that picked cotton and came to Kansas City still wanting to serve as she served in the cotton field. But I thank and praise God for me meeting with Mary Williams Neal and working with her in her campaign. And as I worked with her and talked with her, I found out that she just loved everyone, and she was always making herself available to serve. I've been down at the Jackson County Jail as a chaplain assistant since 1981. And yes, I've been serving down there, teaching Bible study and working with the men and women there. And when Mary Williams Neal heard that I was down there, she wanted to come and be a part. Now, she wasn't going to be on TV. No one was going to be there to write an article. But she took the time to come down and talk with the men and women. I thought she was going to just have Bible study. But she came down there with so much information about social service, about vocational training. She came down there with so much information about daycare, just so many things to help them to educate, get your GED. So Mary Williams Neal was always making herself available to serve. And I have a class called Sheer Essence School of Etiquette and Leadership Development. And Mary Williams Neal, when she heard that I was establishing that school, she came alongside of me and she gave me some ideas. And I said, Barry, I would love for you to be one of my board members. So I've had the school now going into its 21st year, and she's been my board member since day one. And Mary, I told her, I said, Mary, there's some young ladies that are coming out of prison, that are coming out of jail, detention centers, and some of them are wanting to work on polishing up their self-image. They're wanting, because the streets and drugs and various things had taken so much from them, so they were trying to build themselves up. And Mary said, Barbara, can I give some money to support one of them? No, nobody heard her. She didn't go and tell anything, but that's the kind of person Mary is. She wanted to build up. She wanted to establish the brokenhearted, the ones that had gotten broken from the streets. Mary made herself available. And whenever I wanted to go, there was a facility called, it was the Renaissance West, there at 59th and Slow Parkway, where they housed men and women that were trying to get off drugs and alcohol. So when Mary heard that I was a part of that, she said, Barbara, what day do you go? What time do you go? And I told her, and she says, is it okay if I come? And I said, yes. Like Mary, when she came there, I thought she was just going to kind of sit around and chat with them just a little bit and see about their struggles. She came in with a just a wealth of information, a resource of information on social skills, how they could contact various ones to get daycare, to get vocational training, to get jobs. And she told them, when you go to apply for these jobs, put my name on the application. So Mary has done so much. There was a time, I'm originally from Wayne Minor Housing Project. I grew up in the projects. And so I said, Mary, I want to have a family reunion. I said, not of my family, but a family reunion of men and women that came from Wayne Minor Housing Project. Mary said, well, when are you going to have it? Can I be a part of it? And I said, yes. I said, but Mary, we're going to get started early. She said, I can be early. So Mary came and stayed all day. She and Bob Fisher from Full Employment Council. So Mary, that's the kind of person that she is. She was just a giver. And then when she found out that I was going down to the county jail on holidays, she said, Barbara, can I go? Can I go Thanksgiving? Can I go? She and Olivia Dorsey, can I go? And so she was always making herself available. But when she got there, she just didn't give them just a little bit of Bible study. She gave them some resourceful information about jobs and vocational training, something that can help them to pull them up out of whatever they were in, whatever dilemma they was facing. So I know I don't have much time, but I just wanted to say that when I thought about Mary Williams Neal, I thought about Brush Creek Community Center. That's a venue where people are always meeting, and they're discussing social skills. They're discussing things that they can do, counseling, just resource of information. And that's what Mary was always doing, emptying herself of herself to build someone else up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Laura. Was there anyone else who would like to address the board on the issue of renaming Brush Creek Community Center Mary Williams Neal Community Center? Thank you for everybody that came out today, and I will assure you that this will get prompt attention, and we dearly miss Mary. She was a longtime friend of mine, and her service on this board is irreplaceable. We dearly miss her. Thank you for coming.
And if I may add just 1 second, again, thank you all for being here today. And I just wanted to say, that Miss Mary, as you all know, she was the kindest person. When I joined the board, you come to your first meeting, you don't know what to expect. And she looked at me, and she just had like the biggest smile. And I would sit next to her, or, across from her. And she used to sit here. So I said, this is always Miss Mary's seat. Yeah. And any time that I spoke up, or she would squeeze my hand. Sometimes harder than others. And when I got married, she told me I need to spend more time with my family.
Good words of advice.
Yeah, so please accept my sympathies, and thank you all. I think it's a great idea, so thank you all.
I think we have another friend who'd like to speak.
Hi, my name is Barbara Williams. I'll keep it short and things. I work at Central High School as a family advocate and as the director of the child care center that we have there. Mary Williams Neal, when I first started there in this program back in 2016, she came as a speaker and things, and as being a speaker with the teen moms and the babies that I work with, she just asked me, anytime that you need me to come over, I'll be there and things. And I didn't expect her actually to come, but every time that we needed assistance in meetings, helping with teens, she would reach out to me and ask me, and gave me her home phone number and told me, call me anytime of the day or night. I'll be there. And she even went as far as to share with me that she would reach out if any of the teen parents needed to get to any of their appointments, or if they were late for school or something needed picking up. She was more than willing to help me out to make sure that I had the teen parents at school, so this way they could work on getting their diplomas and things like that. No matter the fact that they had children, she wanted to be there for them and the children and things. So I just wanted to kind of share that. I will miss her dearly and things, because she was always there for me, and she would go to other meetings and she would say, I brought your name up in the meeting. I'm like, okay. But I really appreciated in keeping the center helping us, keeping the center open and keeping it going and things like that. So I just wanted to share that information.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
So,
Ms. Williams.
and naming that after her would be the blessed thing to do for all.
Very
All right,
good.
thank you.
Thank you.
The only thing I would add is I think that any of us that have ever had any interaction with Miss Mary would have a story. A story to tell of kindness, of warmth, of smarts, very smart woman, and very thoughtful. And Commissioner Perez, I think like you, when she called me, once the appointment was made, I think before even any public announcement, and said, come over to the house. And I feel kind of special because I got not only some porch time, I got some living room time.
Yes.
Okay, not that special, right?
I went in the winter time, so
There
you're
you go.
still special.
But no, just really appreciate this honoring and this outpouring, and I think that this is the least of what can be done. I think the greatest thing that we can all do is in our life every day, how we show up. And how we show out with and for one another and for the community. So thank you all for your advocacy, and most importantly, encourage all of us, including myself, to continue to model this kindness in our everyday works. So thank you all.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the retirement of Frederick Jones.
Love hard work.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Yes.
Well, right before you today,
Thank
retirement, our latest retirement for Natural Resource Management for Parks Department, Frederick Jones. Although his plaque says 25 years, Frederick Jones been around longer than that. He had it was his second go around with us.
You said how
so-
long? 32. Oh.
Yeah, so he actually had 32 years with us. However, he came back, put 25 more years in with us. And not only are we losing a good person and a good employee, but this guy right here, he's pretty funny. He kept a lot of people going. So with that said, Freddie, do you have anything to say?
No, I just want to thank y'all and appreciate the Parks and Rec. Y'all my family always.
All right.
Much love.
I
All
loved
right.
it.
All right. So with that,
You didn't tell me
here's
the
your
rest of
plaque.
my name, did you?
Well, you know, I didn't want to.
Give us the whole name.
I didn't want to embarrass.
That's all y'all need to know. Y'all hired Frederick.
Yeah, we hired Frederick, but he's had a lot of aliases.
That's right.
Doctor, Ricky, Rabbit,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call him.
I just
Yeah.
want to thank y'all. Never been to the board. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You want a picture, Mr. Freddie? Come on. He's out. He said, I'm done.
I'll sure take a picture. With your plaque. Don't send it to the FBI.
Said, I'm out of here. Thank you, though. Thank you for your service.
We got 32 on there.
I know.
What are you going to do with your spare time?
I'm gonna take a year off and surf and go.
Yes. He said surf.
Yeah, surf. Either surf or surf.
Oh, both sound great.
Hopefully surfing, you know?
I'll be in the park watching.
Thank you.
Where you going in the park? What you doing?
You start mess.
We have a Parks Ambassador program.
We have a person.
Right.
All right.
Funny.
Lots of positive energy there.
Lots.
Next order of business is Resolution 32260, considering board approval of the resolution supporting Kansas City Museum Foundation effort to revise Section 2-970.6 of the Code of General Ordinances of the City of Kansas City, Missouri, as outlined on Attachment B. And I believe we have some folks from the museum here to address the board.
haven't stood here before. So, this is good.
Welcome.
So, good to see you all. Well, thank you very much. My name is Alan Dillingham. I have the honor of serving as the board chair of the Kansas City Museum this year. And I just appreciate President Holland and commissioners for looking at this resolution and allowing me a little time for some input. Before I start, I just wanted to introduce some of our colleagues that have joined me here. We have our vice chair of the board, Sunny Thompson-Ruffin, that joined us. We have Shamari Benton, who's the treasurer of our board. And then Chaluba Musanda is the number 2 at the museum. He's the one that makes everything click and happen, and our operations chief. So appreciate you all being here. The resolution before you really represents a evolution for the Kansas City Museum. Back in, I think it was 2014, right around there, then Mayor James disbanded the advisory board for the museum. The director was let go, and then all of those duties were then brought to the Parks Board, which I sat on at the time. And so the 5 of us were Parks Board members, and we also became the foundation board for the Kansas City Museum. And so we started from scratch. We created all the documents. We created the foundation. We hired a new director with Anna Marie Tutera, who's still with us today. And then, trying to think what else I wrote down that we did. We started adding outside board members, and then we put together the cooperative agreement that we serve under today with you all. So that's a little history of how that happened. This is the evolution of that we always wanted to emulate the other organizations that we have in town that we've done the exact same thing with, and that's namely Starlight, the Kansas City Zoo with the Friends of the Zoo Board, and then like World War I Liberty Memorial. So we're just following along in that path. So this is the next step in that. A few months ago, the Kansas City City Council had an ordinance that gave us the city-owned collection. So we have a foundation, we have a good board set up, we have the collection under us now, a strategic plan. We've been fundraising a whole lot and have a lot of exciting new things coming at the museum. So this is just the next step for all of that. So that's what we're asking for today. We're going to be later this summer having a ordinance brought up with the city council to give us the independence for the board. And so we're just asking for a resolution from you all, since you're our partner in this from the very beginning, to approve of this and be okay with us doing that and having this ordinance this summer with the city council. So any questions that I can answer?
Just really comment from me, in looking at this original piece that I guess was submitted, and others. I mean, I appreciate your walk through kind of the evolution, and I appreciate, I think that's good wording, the evolution of this. And it really seems quite simple, and sounds like a natural next step.
Right.
And so but I am curious kind of from your viewpoint, what did you see as the benefits for the time that the museum was in partnership in this current stand with Parks and Rec? I mean, what were some of the benefits that now you guys have evolved out of? Does that question make sense? Like, why was it helpful that at one point the partnership was in this way, as you all now are looking to evolve and be on your own?
Well, I mean, like the other organizations, it was really under Parks. Parks was running everything, so the whole thing was to get it out of our hands and to let somebody else run the thing so they could have an independent board, do their own thing, be able to be outside of the city, so it's easier to fundraise and just do a whole lot of other things. And so that's the evolution of what we're looking for. Does that answer what you're saying?
Well, I was just saying, what are the
question?
benefits? So I guess you're saying that in the time that the museum was vulnerable, having the institution of Parks and Rec really helped provide a stabilizing force. It even got you connected to them, right? And I'm sure you've been
Yeah.
a great asset
And I
along the way.
loved it, so when I got off the Parks Board and I lost that spot, I asked to stay on, so here I am today. Exactly, yeah, yeah. So I guess as part of your question, why it ended up with Parks, I guess, then City Manager Schulte was just looking around, and he looked at Mark McHenry and said, I want you handling this. So it ended up with us, and so we just took the bull by the horns and started the whole thing over and did that, so.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
How long are the terms for the board?
3-year terms,
Okay. And how many times can you serve?
3.
Okay.
It's a good amount of time.
So,
Any other questions or comments for Mr. Dillingham?
love your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate it.
Move to approve.
We've got a motion to approve Resolution 32260. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32260. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Thank you very much, Joe. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Next order of business is Resolution 32261, considering board approval of an agreement with Blue Symphony LLC for the redesign, rebuild, migration, and hosting of the Parks and Recreation website in the amount of $45,000 with a completion date of December 31st, 2023, as outlined in Attachment C. And I see we have Ms. Markle.
Hello. Yes. It's been 7 years since the last overhaul of our website, so it's absolutely time. We plan to clean it up and work on the functionality and searchability, and then also update it so it reflects the look and feel of the city's new branding. Per CREO requirements, we sent out an RFP and received a qualifying proposal from Blue Symphony that met all of the requirements. And incidentally, Blue Symphony is the group that did our last overhaul 7 years ago. So I'm excited to request approval of a contract with them for $45,000 to make it look good and function better.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments?
Heidi, what would you say are some of the current issues with it?
Well, first of all, there's just a lot of information, 7 years. There's so much there. We need to just kind of streamline it and really work on the searchability factor
Yeah.
of the website, because there's just, like I said, too much in there to be easily be able to find things. So I'm excited, and I'm sure in the last 7 years there's got to be some new technology out there to make websites work better.
And how long was the window to submit proposals?
It was for 21 days, I think, is what's required.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was up there and out there.
Any other questions on this item?
I have one more question, sorry. Is that amount fairly normal, would you say, for that
Yeah,
kind
around
of work?
$50,000 to revamp.
Okay.
I've been saving for 7 years.
You've been saving, and while they're at it, if you can have them, and we can follow up, if you can have them move like the minutes and the agenda somewhere where it's more visible. I got a call from City Hall and they had me walk them through it, so I was like, if it would maybe be up there like front and center, like meetings, because currently I think it's just under the calendar.
Under the board.
Yeah. So.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other recommendations you have, send them my way.
So move.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second on Resolution 32261. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32262, considering board approval of an agreement with Kids Community Growing Prosperity for the use of Swope Park Bandstand to hold their annual Kansas City Greek Festival as outlined in Attachment D. Mr. Loya.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Yes, the Kids Community Growing Prosperity Group, their annual Greek Festival, they wish to enter into facility use and concession agreement for the use of Swope Park Bandstand for their event on June 24th. The festival includes food, beverage, and merchandise vendors. They're expecting about 750 people.
Any questions for Mr. Loya?
So move.
We
Second.
have a motion and a second on Resolution 32262. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Next order of business is Resolution 32263, considering board approval of an agreement with Negro Leagues Baseball Museum for the use of the Great Lawn to hold the Heart of America Hot Dog Festival as outlined in Attachment E. Mr. Loya.
Thank you. The Negro Leagues Baseball Museum wishes to enter into facility use and concession agreement for the use of the Great Lawn for their Heart of America Hot Dog Festival on August 5th. This is another annual event. The festival will include live music and food vendors. This one will have an alcohol vendor. They're expecting about 3,000 people. They already have it on the news.
Oh.
Any questions for Mr. Loya on this item?
Yes. Do you know the record for how many hot dogs have? I have to know.
I need to find out.
Please.
I will find out for you.
Thank you. Move to approve on that note.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second on Resolution 32263. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted.
Thank you.
Next order of business, Resolution 32264, considering board approval of the 2024 Golf Fund appropriation request in the amount of $1,170,000 as outlined in Attachment F. Mr. Schroeder.
Hello, everyone. How you doing today?
Good afternoon.
I'm just here requesting permission to enter into an ordinance with City Council to move some funds to the Golf Fund, the unappropriated funds, to appropriate them for these two projects. One is to redo the parking lot at Minor Park, which it's in need of repair. There'd be a complete repair of the overlay of the whole entire parking lot. And then the other is we're going to rebuild all the bunkers at Shoal Creek Golf Course. This is the first of a couple projects. We entered an agreement with an architect about a year ago, Todd Clark Design, to look at the bunkers at Shoal and also look at Swopes Golf Course. So we've got two projects on the books. Swopes is a much more extensive project that will probably involve debt service, but this one we have the funds to take care of right now. This will save us dollars in repairs and maintenance. It's also going to make the golf course more playable, more walkable, because the bunkers right now are quite large and deep. This is going to shallow them up a little bit and make them smaller. It's about a 50% reduction in the size of the bunkers. And we're going to the Better Billy bunker system, which is the industry standard for bunkers. So pretty excited about this. So I just need to get the money moved. We'll put this project out to bid hopefully on the 29th of this month. So we want to get this repairs done in the fall, so before our window for grassing. We have to put in zoysia, and it needs to be done while it's still warm.
Right,
So
right.
looking for your approval to support these two projects.
Doug, I'm curious, what is the process to identify and prioritize the projects? Like you were saying, hey, we know we have this. Like, do you all have like a formula or an approach to it?
Work with the golf management companies on these things to identify problems. These two items are generated by customer complaints. At the golf course, the bunkers are our highest priority. We get the most complaints for the bunkers, and that's why we're addressing these. They're also the most expensive things to fix and repair, as you can see by the price tag here. So we've been very fortunate through the last few years of COVID to have this fund balance.
Beef up.
And so now we're trying to use it where it makes the most impact. These bunkers will last 20 to 25 years. Normal bunkers last 5 years when you build them through traditional methods. We were fortunate, we weren't fortunate, but we had a flood about 5 or 6 years ago in Swope Park, and we received some FEMA dollars and got to rebuild the bunkers at Heart of America with this system, and they've been great, and they still look like the day we built them. So we're really happy about this. It's going to really save some money.
That was my next
Plus the golf
question.
course will be really look a lot better.
So 25 years is the lifespan? That's
What they
good.
do is they shell out the bunker, redo the drainage, then we install 4 to 6 inches of pea gravel. This pea gravel is held in place with a polymer, and this polymer locks everything in place. It allows water and dirt to go through. Also, we use an angular sand, which doesn't retain the dirt as
So it
people
can kind of
play.
sift through.
So it goes through, it locks the sand in place, and it takes very little maintenance to keep the sand because it locks it up into the face of the bunkers.
Which is
Yeah.
what we want.
It's a
Right,
pretty cool
Lana?
thing. Yeah. I don't play bunkers. It's pretty fancy. It's pretty fancy.
That's right. We don't play bunkers. Thank you, Doug. That is all my questions.
You're doing a great job, Doug. I
Yes.
will tell you, the 5 golf courses under the Parks Department are regional destinations, more than regional, national destinations, and several of the courses are nationally recognized. And these revenues are self-supporting. That's how
Thank you very much.
how we're generating this, and so you're really doing a great job. We appreciate it.
Very
Any other
good.
comments or questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32264. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Thanks, Doug. Next order of business, Resolution 32265, considering board approval of the parking lot agreement between the Parks and Recreation Department, Friends of the Zoo, and Starlight Theater Association. As outlined in Attachment G, Mr. Allen.
All right. Good afternoon, Commissioners. We have a long-standing relationship with Starlight and the Zoo, and the parking lots are located on property owned by Parks and Rec. And so Swope was acquired back in 1896, and this is a long-standing agreement. What it does is it allows Starlight and the Zoo to use the paved parking lot areas and then the grass areas for their events. And then Parks would provide improvements to those areas, general maintenance, and then Starlight and the Zoo would provide litter control. They would help supplement the electrical bills. They would do some striping, and then this agreement would go through 2027 with the option to renew every 5 years.
And it also puts some notification that if Fox or Starlight sees a defect, that they have to report it within a certain amount of time so that we can take action or barricade it immediately.
And then
So for patrons in the parking, using the parking lot, it's going to be barricaded if there's a defect.
And then as a team, we're going to try to meet annually, once a year, to kind of, come up with a game plan for the following year. And it'll probably be 2 times a year, so.
I've heard, I'm running out of time of saying that I'm a new commissioner, but I've have some awareness around just the financial kind of, interweaving that happens. And I heard you say that they'll take care of some lights. Can you talk about kind of what the financial component of this is, and is there any recovery? I mean, I know we're all in it together, right? We're all on the same team, but how does that distribution and allocations of costs go?
Pretty much on the electrical bill, on the parking lots that have lighting, is Starlight and the Zoo would help pay for the electrical bills. They would staff litter control, and then they would provide landscape maintenance for the landscape beds. All the mowing would be done by our crews. If the parking lot needs to be torn out and replaced, that would be on the city as funding is available. But I would say that the agreement is probably heavy on the city side, and it's more service oriented on their side. Is let's keep it clean, let's keep it maintained, let's keep the lights on, because their events are the ones that need the lights and the normal park uses. So I would say that, but we look at them as they're a partner, been a long time partner, but I would say that for big capital improvements, the city would probably incur most of the cost.
And when you say city, that's the delineation between the
City
city and parks.
and parks, yes.
So the city and parks.
And just an example is this last major parking lot improvement, we were able to move some GeoBond resurfacing dollars that's administered through Public Works to help fund that construction. So we're always looking for whoever wants to give us money.
Okay.
Richard, is that a different lot? Because I feel like last year we approved for some lot repairs too.
Yeah, that was tied to the lot that Public Works, used some of their pavement resurfacing.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Any
Move
further-
to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32265. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Next order of business, Resolution 32266, considering board approval of Amendment Number 3 to the lease agreement with Children's Mercy Hospital, Hospital Hill Project.
Yes,
Cotton.
yes, thank you. Yeah, Children's Mercy Hospital has been an incredible partner to the Parks and Recreation Department over the past several years. They have completed the auditorium as prescribed in the original ground lease agreement, and it is accessible to the public as agreed to. Use of the auditorium is scheduled through Children's Mercy Hospital staff. Children's Mercy Hospital has also completed $1 million worth of improvements to Hospital Hill Park that include walking trails, a basketball court, and other park amenities. Children's Mercy Hospital is interested in continuing to utilize a gravel lot to the immediate east of Hospital Hill Park that they are allowed to use as a laydown yard during construction of the auditorium and hospital expansion. This lot is on Kansas City Parks and Recreation property. Staff would like approval of Amendment Number 3 of the agreement through December 31st, 2023 to allow Children's Mercy Hospital the time to evaluate improvements to the gravel lot that would benefit both Children's Mercy Hospital and the Parks and Recreation Department.
Any questions on this item?
Just a typo here, Secretary. It says the amendment to was signed on December 12, 2023. Towards the bottom, 1, 2, third paragraph.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions?
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a second. On Resolution 32266, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32267, considering board approval of a facility use without concessions agreement with Freedom Hoops for the use of Brush Creek Community Center as outlined in attachment I. Ms. Chu. Jen.
I'm going to fill in for Jen today. She's in a training, so yes.
That would be Jody.
There we go. The other J and the down in that wing.
That's Jody.
It's good. We've got this. All right, so Freedom Hoops is requesting the use of the facilities at Brush Creek Community Center for youth basketball practice. Sessions will take place from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. during the terms of this agreement. The city will be compensated $75 an hour, $150 per day for a total estimated payment of $7,800. The terms of this agreement will begin June 20th and end no later than the end of the fiscal year, April 30th. And then Freedom Hoops will provide all insurance requirements per the city.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on this item?
Yes. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32267. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32268, considering board approval of a facility use without concessions agreement with the Evolution Elite Dance Company for the use of the Kansas City North Community Center as outlined in attachment J, as presented by the same imposter.
Absolutely. Evolution Elite Dance Company is requesting facility space at Kansas City North Community Center for youth dance practices. Sessions will take place Monday and Wednesdays from 5:30 to 8:30 during the terms of the agreement. The city will be compensated $50 an hour, $150 per day, for a total estimated payment of $13,350. The terms of the agreement will begin June 14th and end no later than April 29th, 2024. Forever Dance will provide insurance per our city's requirements.
Any comments or questions on this item?
So it starts tomorrow.
Hopefully. I mean, I guess it's up to you guys whether it starts tomorrow or not, but yes, it would start tomorrow, hopefully, and the end of it, the group is very excited about getting into the facility and utilizing this space, if that's what is decided. It is another opportunity to utilize space at KC North that currently isn't already being utilized on times and days of the week, that they have some open spaces in some of the vacant rooms. So this is just another opportunity to generate options and as well as bring kids into that community center. So
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32268. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32269, considering board approval of an agreement with Mid-America Regional Council for the Grand Pass program at Hillcrest Southeast, Tony Aguirre, Westport Roanoke, Kansas City North, and Line Creek Community Centers, as outlined in Attachment K.
Yeah. So this agreement, cooperative agreement, was with Mid-American Regional Council. They are working with Foster Adopt Connect to provide, Mark has some funds that were earmarked for older adults. And so they were wanting to utilize that to provide respite care options for families that, older adults that were taking care of younger children. So they're working with Foster Adopt Connect to help find those families, and then with that money, they're reaching out to local camp organizations to work with them to identify spots and day camp availability options for these kids to go. And so essentially, in this situation, Mark would pay the cost of the fees for camp for each child that is identified as a part of this program, and that would provide those older adults opportunities for a respite during the day and provide enrichment opportunities for the children as well.
Is there an up to amount or is there an estimate?
Honestly, this is a brand new program, and so I know that there are about 4 or 5 other organizations that Mark is working with on this. So Jackson County Parks and Recreation, the YMCA, I'm trying to think of the other one. There's another one in there, but yeah, so this would basically, it's brand new. Their senior services side ended up with some extra funding and really wanted to find a creative way to support older adults taking care of younger children. So.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying, so because Mark is saying is that they'll reimburse the Parks and Rec for the cost of it, so it's just how many ever kids? There's no
right. Based on our space allowed, I mean at that right now, we don't have a ton of space left in our registration for camp. We're pretty full and everything. We do have some spaces and some centers that still have availability, and we'll most definitely work with them as much as we can if that's an option. But because there are other options for these families to choose, we don't know for sure how many will actually come and choose our programming. But yeah, so we're hoping that this can become a regular opportunity and that we'll be able to really provide additional impact for families that don't have access to camp opportunities.
I think it's a really great way to partner, and love that our programs will be part of that list.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, Foster Adopt Connect, they're providing a great resource with all of the families, and so that really allows Mark to just, I guess, be the funding piece.
Yeah.
And they can identify those who truly do need it, and that way we can serve. So it's a good combination.
All right, so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32269. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Excuse me for 1 second. Mr. Bryant? Yes. Were you here for the museum resolution? I think I'm here too late. Yeah,
You are.
that was the second item on the agenda, and it passed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With your permission, I'll execute it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant. Next order of business is Resolution 32270, considering board approval of an agreement with Real Deal Sports LLC for Mayor's Nights Club KC Summer Youth Program in the amount of $40,000 as outlined in Attachment L.
Back in April, when we opened up a request for proposals, Real Deal Sports submitted a proposal to hold events at Greg Kleiss Community Center. Their organization is structured to reach children and young adults through sports. Their paramount focus of the organization is to instruct and develop athletes while teaching them commitment and learning to achieve within a team setting. The foundation of Real Deal Sports is its network of professionals that contribute their time and provide a broad range of experience within specialized knowledge and vast array of professions, reflecting over 80 years of accumulated experience. These programs will be held over a 10-week period on Friday evenings between June 14th and August 20th. Real Deal Sports will provide the personnel, crowd control, entertainment, food, marketing, and program supplies for a total cost of $40,000. Insurance will be provided per city requirements, and then in here, we also have the account where the funds are available.
I have a question. I noticed that in attachment L and O.
Same company, different.
Same company, but Greg Kleiss is named in L and in O.
So one of them is focusing on the sports side of it, and the other is focusing on the educational component and everything. So it's two different sections of Mayor's Nights and the Club KC component, and so they're offering two sides of the proposal. So.
Well, I'm just curious why in the third paragraph, it says consists of a basketball and educational component, and it lists Greg Kleiss on this one,
Right.
while it also
So
has.
one of them is going to host Mayor's Nights, and one of them will host, or like the Mayor's Night Hoops, sorry, got to get all of them right. And then the other will be Club KC. So they're two separate programs, but all kind of under the Mayor's summer programming.
And so for the Greg Kleiss one, bless you, for L, what makes this one different in seeing Greg Kleiss again? Is Greg Kleiss doing all three?
Yes. So they're doing both. They're offering both Club KC as well as the Mayor's Hoops program, the Night Hoops.
And so for the O one, it's just Night Hoops.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the L one, it is
The Club KC.
the Club KC.
Mhm.
Okay, so that means that Southeast, Hillcrest, and Garrison are not having Club KC.
Correct. Yeah, they're only doing the Mayor's
The Night
Volleyball,
Hoops.
soccer, and
and basketball, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you for that.
It gets confusing sometimes, for sure.
Okay, back to Resolution 32270. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Do we have a motion and a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Resolution 32270 is approved. Next order is Resolution 32271, considering board approval of an agreement with the Dixon Group LLC for Mayor's Nights Club's KC Summer Youth Program at Southeast Community Center in the amount of $40,000 as outlined in attachment M.
Yeah, similar to the other agreement, this one is specific to Southeast Community Center. The Dixon Group is, they are focusing on youth 13 to 18 years old with weekly programming that will combine preventative education with recreation and entertainment. These programs will be held over a 10-week period on Friday evenings between June 12th and August 20th. The Dixon Group will provide personal, crowd control, entertainment, food, marketing, and program supplies for a total cost of $40,000. Insurance will be provided per the city's requirements.
Any questions or comments on this item?
Nope. So it starts this Friday, is the first Friday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So the week of June 12th, okay.
right.
Move to, I was confused, like, when is June 12th?
And many of these groups,
Right.
it's kind of, you have your younger, middle-aged group, middle school-age group, and then we also have the older, and this one is more targeted towards, closer to our high school-aged group than our younger groups, that 10 to 13-year-old range. So you kind of have to
So they
separate those
split
out
up
a
the
little bit.
ages in two different locations, those groupings, so if
Yeah.
you're a parent, you just have to, yep.
Unfortunately.
That makes sense, I mean, I think it's
But
safe.
yeah, in the
Yeah.
instance of just ensuring safety and everything else, yeah, we find it to be the best option.
Okay, move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32271. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business, Resolution 32272, considering board approval of agreement with Arts Tech for Mayor's Nights Club KC Summer Youth Program at Tony Aguirre Community Center in the amount of $40,000 as outlined in attachment N.
So very similar to the other ones. One of the biggest pieces is not everybody loves sports. So on the flip side, we want to provide arts, STEM opportunities. And so the Tony and Gary location with Arts Tech will provide that robotics option, dance, music, art, and that focus and function. So very similar in everything else. Duration of the summer essentially, and they will also provide, Arts Tech will provide a different theme, many returning from popular demand. They will provide the personnel, supplies, equipment, space, costs for the total of the $40,000.
Any questions or comments on this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32272. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order is Resolution 32273, considering board approval of an agreement with Real Deal Sports LLC for Mayor's Nights Night Hoop Summer Youth Program at Southeast Hillcrest Garrison Greg Kleiss Centers in the amount of $100,000 as outlined in Attachment O.
Yes. So this is kind of the one that we were referring to earlier.
Right.
That other component, that other piece to it. This proposal consists of basketball component and education component that will be offered to participants at each of the 4 locations. The basketball component will consist of weekly league play with separate age divisions for boys and girls. All participants will be required to attend the educational component. 248 events will be held Monday through Thursday during the term of the agreement, which runs from June 12th to August 15th for a total cost of $100,000. Insurance will be provided per the city's requirements.
And this one really did start yesterday, right? This is on Monday through Thursday?
Honestly, I do not know for sure if
think
this
this
one
starts on
I think
Friday
it
also.
starts this week. I'm not sure if it starts, because unfortunately I do not run the mayor's programming. So,
So do we need to amend this last part? The last line says 240 events will be held Monday through Thursday.
It could be that, I'm not sure exactly when they planned on starting them.
Maybe different days.
Right, and that,
centers.
that there's a
Okay.
schedule, and so there could be actually 240 events planned out. They just didn't necessarily start, I think they're starting everything the week of this week.
Right. I guess my question is, and if I could finish the whole question
Oh,
before
yeah,
you
sorry.
answer. Is it each center will offer it every night a week, or centers will have a different night? So like Greg Kleiss may be a Thursday night, another center may be a Wednesday night.
Right, yes, there'll be different nights for each location, and some centers might have multiple things going on night after night after night, but there's specific program each at different locations, set specific nights of the week.
Okay, so if I'm a parent and I go to Greg Kleiss, I'll be able to see all the things that's happening that week on the website, or a flyer is going to tell me. And it could be multiple events throughout the week.
Yes.
Because this happens more than just on Friday.
Correct.
It could happen more than just on
Absolutely, yes, correct.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32273. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Jody.
stepping in.
Anytime.
Next order of business is Resolution 32270, considering board approval of an encroachment license agreement with Armor Truce Northwest LLC for an encroachment on Armor Boulevard as outlined in Attachment P. Mr. Wong.
Commissioners, this is a encroachment license agreement with Armor Truce Northwest LLC. The property is located on the northwest corner of Armor Boulevard and Truce Avenue. So it was a gas station and it's being converted to a apartment complex. So this agreement will allow them to use the Armor Boulevard right-of-way to install one entry canopy and a illuminated sign. And so the annual encroachment fee is $971.82.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32274. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Resolution is adopted. Next order of business, Resolution 32275, considering board approval of encroachment lease agreement with Armor Truce Southwest LLC for an encroachment on Armor Boulevard, as outlined in Attachment Q.
Commissioners, this is a similar agreement to the previous one, same developer. That's the property at the southwest corner of Almer Boulevard and Chuse Avenue. So it was a two-story building, and again, they're converting that to apartment complex. So this agreement will allow the developer to use the Almer Boulevard right-of-way to install, again, similar entry canopy and a illuminated sign at the corner of that intersection. So the annual encroachment fee is $1,040.04.
James, why is it going to say Senate?
What is it? I'm sorry.
Or is it Senate?
First paragraph.
First paragraph.
Illuminated, I guess I'm just trying to figure out.
Oh,
what
signage,
it
yeah,
means.
signage.
Is that
yeah.
the name of the building?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So one is called the Senate, the other is called the Roxon, yeah.
Okay.
So it's just gonna, light up the sign,
Got it.
yeah.
Have you been to that corner recently?
No.
It's dramatic,
It's under construction now, yeah.
very dramatically changed.
Mm.
Any other questions or comments on this item?
Move to approve.
We have-
Second.
We have motion and second on resolution 32275. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business, resolution 32276, considering board approval of an encroachment license agreement with Denali 3 LLC for property at 1923 Broadway. Mr. Wall.
Commissioners, this is a encroachment license with Denali 3 for the property at 1923 Broadway Boulevard. So we have done a underground encroachment license with this developer in the past, but that was for the underground anchor system. This is the one for overhead. So under this agreement, the developer will be given permission to use Broadway Boulevard right-of-way to install, maintain, and repair cladding, balconies, projection awnings, and so the annual encroachment fee is $7,901.46.
Move to approve.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second on resolution 32276. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is the director's update. Mr. Cotton.
Yes, thank you. Conservation has been working to get Lakeside Nature Center engaged in the department's software management program, CivicRec. This is the point-of-sale software for the department, and staff either has gone through cash handling training or is set to go through cash handling training. AR 5-7 has tasked the Parks and Recreation Department with overseeing all tree removal, plantings, and inspections for the entire city limits of Kansas City, Missouri. Forestry has submitted to the Personnel Review Committee 4 positions to be funded out of the general fund to support these operations. We've had some great days at the pools, but we've also had some minor issues. Weapons have been displayed on 2 occasions at the bay on days when police coverage was not available. Rick Castillo, Park Ranger Supervisor, and I will be meeting with the police chief on Wednesday to discuss getting more help. Lifeguards are not showing up for shifts at the Grove and the bay when off-duty security is not present. Additionally, the new security fencing at Bud Park Pool was cut open with power tools to gain access to the pool after staff had left for the day. The fencing has been repaired at this time. Flag Day event is tomorrow at Washington Square beginning at 9 a.m. and the Scouts have moved into the Swope Interpretive Center and have begun operations out of the space. That is my update.
Any questions for the director?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Regarding police presence, is that just when there are no lifeguards available, or is that like all the time?
No, so we've had some issues with off-duty police wanting to fill the schedule to have shifts at the facilities. So on the days when PD is not available, we're putting Rick or Tyler at the facilities to make them safe. However, when we put our rangers there, then the rangers aren't in any of the other 221 parks. So we're going to meet with the police chief tomorrow to see if she can help us fill those shifts.
So when mom and dad are dropping off their kiddo to lifeguard, if they're not senior security at the Grove or the bay, they're
Taking their
kids
children.
off.
Yeah.
They're taking their workers.
They're taking-
Yeah,
they're
the
taking-
kids that are working. Yeah.
And we are keeping the management company, obviously they're aware of when we're staffed and or when we have security and we don't have security.
Thank you.
You know, this kind of goes back to what, I think we talked about this, but the power of having working viable pools within our neighborhood so we can really cultivate a strong, grow our own. Because I'm curious, the current lifeguards that are staffing, are they in and of the community, or are they, or I guess it's a mixture,
It's a
like?
mixture.
So some people are coming into
Yeah.
these various communities and,
One of the
okay.
benefits of having Midwest Pool as our contractor, they service so many KC
So they can
Metro
pool.
pools. So they can pool somebody from like Grain Valley.
Floating.
Bring them over. If they're not working there on a Saturday, can bring them over to our pool on a Saturday. So, but it's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of the neighborhood kids and externals to help fill those gaps.
And what are the actual statistics of incidents or crime or shootings? Like, do we have numbers on that?
We haven't had any shootings. We've had weapons pulled, guns pulled twice at the Bay. And that's
Already this
already
summer?
this year, already.
Oh, my gosh.
2 weekends in a row. But as far as major incidents other than that, that's all that's been reported to us at this time. But we also have done a much better job of getting staff for the facility. Like last year was Brad and I's first summer here, right? And the pools didn't open until Father's Day weekend. And we were, with aquatics backgrounds, we're trying to figure out, well, there was no recruiting going on.
Yeah.
So we worked harder with, and the Bay actually has a full complement of staff this year, right? So we've had the help from the neighborhood over there has helped us recruit so that kids enter the program and so that we could have more guards. But we've only had 2 major issues this year.
And so like weapons pulled on people or the,
Displayed.
like, hey.
Displayed, yes ma'am.
Showing power.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's unfortunate,
It is.
but really grateful it didn't escalate into any, show of violence.
And reconstruction of the Southeast Community Center pool continues. We're super excited to get that done, so we'll have deep water, so then we'll actually start training our own lifeguards again.
Okay, yeah, because that was the second part of my question, so glad to see that, because I think if we can get more community members to be able to be in community, I think that helps, although it's not a reason why any gun should be necessary, so.
When Donald Struther was promoted to our aquatics manager, and just so you guys know, he just held his second lifeguarding class this past Saturday, and we actually have 4 new lifeguards that are local
Good.
kids that we're gonna start training and getting out there. So he's already got a plan implemented
Very
to
good.
start recruiting lifeguards and training them.
And where's that training taking place?
That one took place over at Tony Aguirre, and he's got another one in July at Tony Aguirre as well
Oh,
to
good.
do some lifeguard training. So, and again, these are our kids, so that's awesome.
Great.
It's a difference maker.
It is.
So,
It is.
glad to see that progress, and I'm hopeful for the meeting with the chief.
Yes ma'am. I'll keep you all posted.
Thank you.
Anything further for the director? Madam Secretary, do we have anybody signed up for public hearing?
Besides what we have, I don't think there's any.
All the staff.
All staff. Hey, y'all.
Okay, seeing no one for the follow-up public hearing, we are adjourned.
Thank you.